live in a society where honor is a distant memory.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to discuss why Joker's We Live in a Society scene is actually better than the scene we got in Zack Snyder's Justice League, which is kind of confusing because there's alternate cuts in a movie that entirely is an alternate cut of the movie we got in 2017, or obviously the original. Very confusing when you put it like I just did, right? So this was shown yesterday, okay? They showed the scene. It's about a minute and 20 seconds, and, I actually really liked it. I said back when, this came out a couple weeks ago, that one of the things I still don't like is Jared Leto's Joker, and I would still say I don't prefer it. My stance on it was 2 weeks ago, and still is now, that if they do more, and he is the Joker in those, I will gladly watch them. No harm, no foul. But if he were to never appear as Joker again, I wouldn't be all that disappointed. Okay, so that's kind of where I stand. Where, I don't need more of him, but if they did do more of him, it wouldn't be bad. I wouldn't mind it all that much because I still feel like giving him chances for whatever reason. But I will say, I prefer massively his delivery and acting in this scene, this new, We Live in a Society scene, versus the one we got. And again, I actually said back then as well that I like what he's saying. I like the taunting about Robin. I like the going back and forth with Harley, or basically when he's just mocking Batman that everybody dies around him. He's dead inside. He knows that. All of that stuff, that he needs Joker, the truce card, right? That he sent a boy wonder to do a man's job. All that stuff. I love those lines. I don't necessarily love that Joker's delivery of those lines, but I love those lines in this scene. So let's break it down. I would show it. Maybe I can show some clips as I'm talking, but I can't show the entire thing. Otherwise, this would just get demonetized literally instantly, and I'm not gonna obviously take that risk. But basically, the swapping it leads into the same stuff. So I believe he would still say the stuff about sending a boy, to do a man's job. So he would still say that, and it picks up when Batman talks about, what's funny, all that entire part, okay, when he's talking about when he held Harley Quinn in his arms, when she was bleeding and dying, and she told him, when he kills Joker, yada, yada, yada. So that's the exact same. And then he takes the card. Now, in the original, in Zack Snyder's Justice League, Joker just sits there, and then his hand starts to shake, but then he changes it into a pointer finger, where he says that you almost got me, good one, stuff like that. And I understand that. I think it does actually make him kind of more human, because it's okay, did that Harley thing actually get to him? You know what I mean? Does he still think about her? What exactly happened there? We know from Zack Snyder that we would see Harley Quinn's death in movies if they end up happening. So I think that would be really, really cool. But it does, I like that scene. I like him kind of trembling and then kind of just gaining control of himself again, being that was a funny joke. But because it shows a little bit more of a human side to him. But in this one, he does the We Live in a Society. So Batman says that he's going to honor basically her wishes, and that is honor. That's what triggers, Joker to say, honor, Bruce, really, honor. And I actually really like that, because he's kind of taunting, where he's are you seriously talking about the word honor right now? And then he talks about, obviously, we live in a society where honor is a distant memory. And then he talks about, he wonders who screamed louder, the girl or the boy. And I really like that. Now, I know somebody said to me they don't like that he says boy instead of boy wonder, or even referring maybe to Robin his name. The interesting thing is, again, I think he would have already said it. So this scene is right after he talks about, basically sending Robin to do, Batman's job pretty much. So this is after that. So we would technically say both things. Maybe he took it out because it was a little redundant, because you already are referring to Robin, and then you kind of go back to it, and Batman just mentioned Harley. But I actually like it. I think the We Live in a Society is actually a pretty solid line, and I like that he goes back to again mocking him. You know what I mean? And also the laugh, the very ending, when he's just smiling and he does that stupid heckle, which I personally, I just call it stupid. I don't like that whatsoever. And that's when Batman kind of looks at him funny and then walks away. In the original version, it feels very cut together now that we see this one. Both of them, there is a cut between the last line or whatever Joker was doing versus like that laughing. You know what I mean? So in the original, he does the trembling, he does like the pointing, he says all that stuff, and then there's the cut where he starts to laugh, which I guess he's laughing that Batman got him. You know what I mean? That was like a funny joke. It kind of works, but actually, for me, it kind of doesn't. In the new one, or in the We Live in a Society one, he's mocking him again. You know, he doesn't really care what happened to Harley. He's like, I wonder if she screamed louder than Robin did. You know what I mean? And so, like, that one takes away, again, his relationship with her, because it really doesn't seem like he cares. Whereas the shaking one, it's like, okay, well, maybe he remembers her, maybe he is actually sad about all that, and maybe he still is in the We Live in a Society one, he just doesn't show it, which, I mean, is kind of common in Joker, in, like, you know, in history of Joker being around, you know what I mean? So I don't think it means he doesn't, you know, care or think about whatsoever that situation in the We Live in a Society scene. It just, he doesn't show it in that moment. Maybe it's even like Batman doesn't really even scare him in that moment. It's kind of like, yeah, you know, that was cool. Like, you may end up killing me, but let's just make another joke. Let's see who, you know, I wonder who screamed louder. So again, I kind of prefer this one only because, I mean, actually because of a couple reasons. And he's talking more. It provides more context to me for his laugh at the end versus the other one. This one seems a little bit better because there's a smaller period of time in between him talking and then laughing versus the one in the actual movie where there is a more it's more of a silenced part to it, and then he laughs. Kind of just feels weird. Yet again, he's a weird man. Jared Leto's a weird man, so like I kind of understand it. You know what I mean? So hopefully you guys found this fun. I can't believe I'm talking about a 1 minute We Live in a Society scene, okay? But here we are, right, on April 3rd doing it. But I want to hear from you guys in the comments below. What'd you think? Did you like Jared Leto's Joker in the first place? Did you like the one we got in the 4-hour movie? Do you like this one, the We Live in a Society one? Let me know. As always, make sure you guys are subscribed. Make sure you guys have the bell icon turned on. If you guys want to support my other stuff, I do have a Twitter. It's called Podcast Now 15 is my Twitter handle. I also have a second channel. It's called Podcast Now Plus, okay? Both the links for those are in the description below, and obviously you can just look them up on Twitter and on YouTube as well. Thank you all so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. I hope to see you all on the next video.